Hi everyone, Emily here, and welcome back to my channel. I thought I would take you kind of through what a week in our life looks like, just so you can kind of get an idea. So earlier in the week, Rainey and I went to a local plant nursery where we picked up a Bruce Plum, which is our latest fruit addition to our orchard. And then once I figured out how to get it home, I started on supper. So at the grocery store, I had picked up this beautiful rack of pork ribs. They were on sale for probably about $12 or something like that. And all the other ones were priced at $20. So I thought that was such a steal, and we never do ribs. So I decided to pick up a rack of them. So I put them in the crock pot and I added some Ray's no sugar added sweet and smoky barbecue sauce because all of the other barbecue sauces that were there had high fructose corn syrup as their first ingredient. So I wanted something a little bit different. So I added the ribs to the crock pot. I cut them up first in kind of like 3 rib sections just to make it easier for our family. And I put them in the crock pot and I turned the crock pot on low. So our crock pot has 3 settings: warm, low, and high. So I cut it on low. And then I went in and I added the barbecue sauce on them. So I didn't try to coat each rib individually. I just dumped it all over them. And as I mixed it throughout the day, then I went in and kind of added more sauce, turned the ribs, and made sure they were fully coated. And they cooked probably about 7, 8 hours all day. And while we were doing that, while the ribs were cooking, we actually went outside, me, Caleb, Rob, and Rainey, to plant the plum tree that we had purchased earlier. So first we stopped and we planted our fig tree that needed to be planted. And then the boys went and started digging the hole for the plum tree. So we have a little orchard now that has probably 5 different fruit trees, excluding the fig, which is in another area of our yard. So it was nice to have a beautiful day where we can get out and kind of plant that. And everyone helped, everyone participated, and we had such a good such a good time doing it. And I was so happy we were able to get out there. But of course, every time we went in the house, all we can smell was those ribs cooking, and they smelled absolutely fabulous, I will say. So we were definitely looking forward to getting our hands in them later on this day. So earlier in the week, I had took out a chicken to thaw. It's one of the chickens that we had harvested ourselves. So I decided on the same day I was cooking ribs, I would do the chicken as well, and then we can pick on it all throughout the week or do chicken salad or something like that. So I set my oven on 325, and I have this old cast iron metal pot that I use for it. I defrosted the chicken, and then I went and I put it in the pot, and we did very simple seasoning with this. We just did like pepper, thyme, oregano, stuff like that. I never measure anything when I'm cooking like this. I just put it in the pot, let it do its thing, and I'll cook it for probably 2 or 3 hours until it reads at a good temperature. And then what I'll do is I'll take the lid off just so I'll get that crispy skin on the outside, because my oldest son, Caleb, he does really like the crispy chicken skin. So that's why I do that for them. Otherwise, we're fine with having like soggy, flabby chicken skin. It doesn't bother us. I don't eat the skin. My husband doesn't care either way. But since my oldest son likes crispy skin, that's why I did it. So here it is in the pot, and now I'm sprinkling the black pepper and the rest of our seasonings. And I am so sorry about this shadow that is haunting the camera here. We have a really weird angle over top of our stove with the lighting and stuff. We'd love to eventually redo our whole kitchen, but that is definitely not a project anytime soon. That's kind of our 10-year project. I don't know if you've seen in some of the other videos, but our stove is completely encased in like this rock thing, and we want to kind of get rid of that. So here's our plate all finished. We ended up doing ribs, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, and some bread. Alright, so it's a few days after that last clip. I'm sitting in the school parking lot waiting to pick up my son. I stopped and got me a delicious drink from our local coffee shop before I did. It was a quick little detour because I am dragging, and after this we're going to pick up our plants from the local county extension office. Yes, we are getting more plants, but every year our local extension offices, they have a small selection of plants that you pre-order in January, and then you can go pick up usually like in March or something. They're at a great price and they're really healthy plants. So I suggest checking into your local extension agency because it's a good way to get plants and kind of keep that money within your community. So I figured I would stop and get a little drink that I can enjoy while I'm waiting on my oldest son. My youngest son is in the back seat asleep, and we're just gonna have a good day. All right, so I just picked up my plants. We have blueberries down there. We have elderberry. We have, what's this? This is the pawpaws right here. That's probably witch hazel. That is blackberry, and these are going to be my rhubarb crowns. So I have a front seat full. It was easier to put them up here than to try to put them in the back, and I'm excited to get them home and get them set out so that we can plant this weekend. So I hope you enjoyed that little peek at our week. It was a very busy week. Even the weekend was super busy. I didn't have the opportunity to film much during it, but I got my rhubarb planted. I planted the blackberry. We still need to plant the blueberries, but we also did some other little projects around the property. We brought around the old swing set up to the front. We're going to repurpose it as kind of one part's going to be a fort for the boys to play in. It's going to be planted up on sides with vining, flowers and stuff, and kind of grow over, and they can crawl in it. And then the other part of the old swing set is going to be a trellis for the tomatoes. And I talked a little bit about this on our Instagram. So if you are not following us on Instagram, make sure you go over there to instagram.com/thegardeneronthego and make sure you're following all of this. But we made some new beds. We kind of just worked out in the yard this weekend and really started prepping the property for everything that we have going on. But on Thursday, I had a box come in from Pampered Chef. So a friend of mine had a Pampered Chef party and I ordered a couple of things. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you what I ordered. So I'm going to start with probably, because it came in this gigantic box. I mean, this is a huge box of stuff. So I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to start with this box. All right. So this, I got a spice organizer. And our spices are a bit of a hot mess right now. We have a lot. I have them separated between my more predominantly baking spices and my more savory ones. But I do need to rework the whole system because the baking spices are just stuck in a drawer somewhere. The other spices are in a cabinet, and I really would like to kind of get everything look a little bit more cohesive. And plus, it'll empty up that drawer that I'm currently using for the baking spices. So I got this spice organizer. I thought it would be pretty cool. And it said that there's some little drawers that you can pull out to use for like if you wanted to put like yeast packets or something like that. So I'm excited to get this set up and get it used. I think I might be holding it upside down. Yeah, there we go. I was holding it upside down. So these are going to be like the little drawers and stuff, and the spices go up here and it's adjustable. So I thought this would be something nice for our cabinet. I am kind of short, so I need to have all of our spices where I can easily reach them. And right now I have some spices here, some spices here, some over here. So it'd be nice to get everything in one area. I got these Twix-Its. They're these little plastic clips. They come in a variety of sizes. So here's a smaller one, big one. And they're actually pretty cool. So I had someone randomly give one to me as a Christmas gift a few years ago, and I had no idea what it was at the time. But when I figured out what it was, I kind of loved it. So it's like bag clips. So closing up like bags of rice or chips or whatever you need to, they're just little clips. So I'm pretty excited about this because we don't have any chip clips. We don't have any bag clips. We don't have any clips for anything. So I'm excited to be able to use these because sometimes we run into the issue where we'll buy something in bulk from like Sam's Club or Azure Standard or something like that. We'll buy a bulk something and we have containers to put the bulk in, but our containers aren't always big enough for the whole item because it's not feasible based on our kitchen. So we'll put in, like for rice, for example, we'll get a big bag of rice, pour what we can in the canister, and now we can put these little clips on the rice to help kind of keep it fresh when it's in storage. So I'm excited about those. So I got this, which is the small square cool and serve. And I saw this and I thought this would be great for summertime with the boys. So what it is, it's basically it has an insert, and I'm just going to try to read. All right, so it has this white insert that you put in the freezer and you freeze, and you put the rest of the tray on top of it once it's frozen, like the next day. And then you have this that you can use to keep your items cold. So I was really thinking of this one for our s'mores bar. We like to do like s'mores parties and stuff like that during the summer. So I thought this would be good to kind of put our various chocolates here, marshmallows here, our graham crackers and cookies and stuff over here that we use to kind of help keep everything chilled, especially in the summer when it's so hot. So I'm really excited about this, and I think it's going to get a lot of use at our house. I liked it so much that I actually went, and they have a few various sizes, a few various inserts. But I actually went and got the large version as well. And let me pull this out of the bag. So I got the large version. So this actually is pretty cool because it has, actually they both do, they have lids that lock. So this one is kind of the same thing. This one has a few different inserts, so a few different types. It has the cooling plates as well. But what's really cool about this one is that you can actually use this for doubled eggs if you wanted to put doubled eggs in them as well and keep them cool. So I'm really excited about this. I thought this would be really cool. Not necessarily for doubled eggs because I have something else I can use for doubled eggs, but for putting in our condiments and stuff when we're doing tacos or hamburgers or something like that. I thought it would be cool to put them in to keep them cold. So, for example, lettuce, tomato, pickles, ketchup, mustard, jalapenos, whatever we want in it. And you can use both of these trays without the cold tray at the bottom. So it's just kind of like a cool little organizer. And then the last thing I got, which is actually a free gift, they had a couple of free gifts when I ordered. One was like stainless steel straws, which I don't like the stainless steel ones. I'd much rather have like the glass that you can see through. Um, I can't remember what the other gift was. Free gifts with purchase. But then the final one was this little stainless steel mini whipper. And I figure out of all the options for a free gift, this is the one I would get the most use out of. So anyways, like I said, a friend of mine was having a Pampered Chef party. I decided to buy a couple of things. I'm pretty excited about the things I bought. I'm very excited about them. But if you're curious about Pampered Chef, I got a link in the bio so you can go check it out. But otherwise, I hope you kind of enjoyed this video that's kind of an unboxing slash week in our life kind of video. But anyways, thank you, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.